Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash, double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to all like preaching His word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Tazabah in Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will, with another video to edify. We're going to get right into it.
Experiences of racism has intensified with the coronavirus. The racist assumption that if you look Chinese, if you look Asian, you might be a virus carrier.
Because this is a virus that's coming out of a city in China, because it's a virus that from a foreign land, they automatically group all Chinese people as this monolith that we all are to blame, that we all need to be avoided, that we all need to be quarantined. So my mom is a nurse at a Toronto hospital. One day a patient had come up to her and asked for a mask, and my mom, being a nurse, she has to ask the patient, oh, why do you need a mask? Are you coughing? Are you sneezing? What seems to be the problem? And the patient replied to her, no, none of those things. There are just so many Chinese people here. I need a mask.
So in Scarborough is actually one of the most diverse areas in Toronto. A lot of immigrant communities. In this specific riding, this mall is one of the big hubs in this specific area. Usually the food court is a congregation spot. But as we can see from the number of empty seats there are, it seems like there is some impact, right? The first day the virus broke, there's barely anyone around. Normally you might see the whole room is packed, right? As we can see, it's kind of like maybe a little more than half, right? We are seeing a bit of a rebound, which is great. So this is Pacific Mall, one of the biggest Chinese malls outside of Asia. Pacific Mall relies also on a lot of non-Chinese customers. Perhaps consumers from other communities are sort of seeing Pacific Mall as, dangerous. Hopefully, as people become less concerned about coronavirus, more and more people will start coming back to the mall.
The WHO information at the top of their search results.
The reactions I've seen to the coronavirus in 2020 are very similar to the reactions that I saw as a child with SARS in 2003.
During the SARS outbreak, my family owned a small business in London, Ontario. What we saw was a complete decline in that business. And you have to remember that immigrants tend to work in food, they tend to work in service because they couldn't get any other jobs. When you have something like that happen, you choke off their only line of income.
Yo, these gooks, man. The Lord's starting to give them that hell, just like they gave Israel that hell. And these people are just the new niggas, man. The new niggas, man. That's what these Moabites are, and these Ammonites, man. The Chinese and the Japanese. That's what they are. They're just the new niggas, man. So peep this. I even put the comment on here, man. I was laughing when I saw this. I put the new ends because I was reading the comments. It says, like y'all weren't racist against black Africans when Ebola outbroke. You see, let me keep going. Look, ironically, if you go to China and you are a dark-skinned complexion, many will assume you are a violent criminal. We should not sacrifice the health of the masses because of people's feelings getting hurt. You see? Hey, man, the whole world is coming against you gooks. Let me see if I can find something. With a little bit of bigotry. Let me see. Funny how this reaction is happening when America was when it says when America was caused the swine flu. It says, "Welcome to racism, sir," with a so-called black emoji. Laughing at Asians. Calm down. It's still not as bad as being black in America. You see? Hey, man. These gooks, man. Nobody's feeling bad for them, man. Jake knows how these heathen get down, man. Especially when it comes to them. So now these so-called Asians are catching hell and being ostracized throughout the world, and those curses are coming on them, and they want some goddamn sympathy and mercy, and it's not gonna be had, man. Let me get this precept. This is 2nd Ezra 15. And 46, and thou, Asia, that art partaker in the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredoms, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. You Moabites, man, you got real proud over the years. You so-called Asians, man, got real proud over the years because you were able to pass wealth down through your family businesses that were lasting, 3 or 4 generations in different lands. You came into the Jake neighborhoods and you sold to them and left their asses in the ghetto while you went back into your own communities and shit like that, where you had opportunity and you were allotted pleasures, like it says in the scriptures. The heathen shall get very high above thee, And you expected us to have some fucking sympathy for you? Nah, man. Nah. We gonna treat you like the viruses you are, man. Mind you, how did they say the outbreak started? How did they say this outbreak started, bro? They said it started by you goddamn gooks, illegal meat markets in Wuhan, China, which we know this is a calculated hit, either by your own government because you're trying to, call the herd, or, outside source using a bioweapon. We know that this was a calculated hit. But at the end of the day, you were doing all this stuff to yourself, eating things that you ought not to be eating. It says verse 48. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Isn't this all bringing poverty upon these gooks, man? The things that they thought they were doing so well in are going to start collapsing. People are going to start avoiding your establishments just like they're already doing. And as it spreads to more and more countries, I saw a comment on here. It said that they traveled, the world over, and it's only smart to avoid your establishments. There was a comment that said, this one says, well, the virus originated in China, in Asia, and Asians traveled the world, so stop being so oversensitive and pulling a race card, Asian people. Boom. You see, nobody's feeling sorry for these cooks, bro. This is the Lord, man. What did it say? The Lord shall make you a curse and a proverb in her, just like, and he said in Deuteronomy 30 chapter. Come back to the 2nd Ezra. Yeah, Deuteronomy 30:7, it says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Now, when you go into these goddamn Asian supermarkets, man, Because I used to go in there to get some fruit, man, because they got different kinds of fruits, you know? Sometimes you don't want to just have oranges and strawberries all the time. Sometimes you want to mix it up. But I used to go into them, bro. And every time I go in them, yeah, these gooks are just following you around the goddamn store. Like, man, I'm not trying to sit here and steal your dried snake penis wine and shit, bro. But they'll treat you like that, you know? So let me get back into this. This 2 Ezra 15:4. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, sword, famine, and pestilence. You know, a lot of people's husbands and wives are dying and they're left alive. A lot of people's children are dying left alive, and they're left alive. Or whole families are getting wiped out. You know, no telling what these militaries are doing in these cities. They could just be shooting people with the viruses and then just throw them into incinerators, which there have been little reports that come out and then just disappear off the internet. Why? Because they're censoring the news that's coming out. You know? It says, to waste thy houses with destruction and death, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. You see the heat, you know? The glory of your power. What? You Asians, you so-called Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Cantonese, Cambodians, all that, all of you sat here, and your glory, your power was that you had these communities, you were able to pass down wealth through your families, and all that's being dried up by a fucking virus, bro. It says, verse 51, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes. Get your ass whooped, man. I was gonna look at this video in another one, but I'll pull it out now, man. This is a time lapse of how the virus has grown. You Asians, man, you so-called Asians, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Malaysians, Taiwanese, all you people, you were so proud over such a long period of time because you were able to sit here and get above the Israelite man. You talk shit about them, degraded us, treated us as fucking pariahs and thieves when we went into your establishments, and now all this stuff is coming back on you, Jake, for the first time, is just avoiding you goddamn heathen for the first time, man. You imagine what it's doing to your establishments? The Edomites are avoiding you too. I'm going to read this. This is 2 Ezra 15:50. It says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive thee. You see, you're being beat down by this virus so that the mighty and the lovers, talking about these nations, the ones that love your cultures, the ones that go to all your establishments, they're not going to receive you. And that's happening right now. They're not going to your establishments. They're not trying to get shit from you no more. Because they pick up something out of your stores. What's next? A coffin, they died, man. Verse 52, it says, I would with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, said Yahweh, if thou hast not always slain my chosen. See, if would the Lord really have done this to you so viciously, if you didn't come against his people so hard? I remember this is like 2 years ago. There's all these instances where these heathen would have Jake in their goddamn establishments, and Jake be pissed off about the service that they got from him, saying that they didn't do their nails right and shit like that, and be like, I'm not paying for this. This is not what I asked for. And you guys try to upcharge them and shit to the point where you have everybody in the store and people start picking up brooms, beating these bitches in their establishments. So that's what, you did this to the Lord's chosen people. The scriptures tell you Moab is his washpot. He shall cast his shoes over him, man. Y'all ain't shit. You did this to the Lord's people. So I'm going to start at 52 again. It says, would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thy hands, saying over their dead when thou wast drunken, set forth thy beauty, the beauty of thy countenance. So as soon as you got over them, sat there and slayed them in your stores, your grocery markets, called the police on them for every little thing, fabricated the story, said this and that about them, put them down, all that, right? And then after you were done doing it and you saw them get caught up, saw them be slain, you sat there and said, how great are you now? It says, the reward of thy whoredoms shall be in thy bosom. Therefore thou shalt receive recompense. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, said Yahweh, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. And they that be with thee, they that be in the mountains, shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And this is all going to happen on you heathen, man. And on 2/3 of the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true children of the Heavenly Father, man, and scattered abroad, because this is not according to skin tone. The nation of Israel has been in all countries, as it says in the scriptures, all four corners of the world, among all people. In the Acts, I believe it's the 2nd chapter, it said Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. So Israel is everywhere. And if you don't go back according to your fathers, to a male that came out of one of the 12 tribes of Israel, and if your spirit doesn't vibe with this, you're a heathen. And this is going to be the same judgment that you will have. It says, thou as unhappily shalt come through the sea and receive plagues again. This is going to be for all you heathen. And you so-called Asians, you Chinese, you Japanese.
Experiences of racism has intense.
All you're getting it, man. So Lord wanted this is edified. I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy, all for Shalom.